And if it's normal and a stay-at-home dad can happily compete with other stay-at-home dads, he's going to become a better stay-at-home dad. All the testosterone that goes wastefully in competing about the other things just disappears. So, I mean, my girlfriend makes more money than I do. Do I have a problem? No. The thing is that privilege creates inequality. People who work at home are house helps. The husband works, the wife works. I think they're both equal. Do they fight about who's working more, who's working less? No, not at all. They're only trying to survive. It's our society that creates inequality. How do we end it? Exactly how Archana ma'am said. Like it's so simple that our parents would have probably passed down very subtle, simple signs that one of the other is a little more important. We use those signs and we project into society. So once we learn, if we parent our children better, maybe the next generation doesn't have this concept at all.
I just have to say that I think inequality and equality is all the state of mind, and it's about choices. For example, if I want to make more money than my husband, I can. It's my choice that I balance house and my professional life. Now, however, saying that, I'm the kind of a woman, if I make more money than my husband, I don't think I'll value him enough. It's just one of those things. It's just having more femininity than masculinity, and femininity and masculinity we all have in each other. Depends what you want to. And there are some women who want to make more money, and some then they have to get married to the sort of partner who can make a bit less and is okay staying at home. So I think it's the choice, and it's just up to us.
Thank you so much for both your perspectives.
I think they both have said, no? Talk about me. Like for me, I came from a very, very orthodox, old school family background.
Okay.
For me, that was too unrevealing in this poisonous light.
Okay.
Where people have always entangled me in their whims, where voices sound like sweet like melodies, but their deeds is as ghastly as deceit. Though I'm deprived by my own ones, but still sense of human remains.
Yeah.
I have seen but never experienced joy and mirth. Why did I die at my birth? This was the phrase always was with me since my childhood. But I changed the perception because till the time you respect your own self, you start loving your own self, the world will love you. Okay? And I'm very bold, unapologetic. People may judge me, people will not judge me. This is the Rohit Verma is all about. Full of honesty, Krishna conscious person. That's what I give the society. All this equality people are talking about, we all have to, peek inside within ourselves. Our consciousness, are we clear? Whatever you're talking, accepting the society is very, very important. And you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
By calling me over here, not judging me, and doing this kind of beautiful thing. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Now let's go ahead to Mrs. Vora. As a woman, how hard was it for you to make it to the top? And were there any challenges in your journey?
Well, first of all, congratulations, Pranaya.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here, to look at your efforts, and it makes me very proud at some stage, my daughter as well. And, she's pursuing her professional education, and so it makes me very proud to look at the next generation.
Thank you so much.
And, I don't think we need to empower you. I think you all are empowered enough. Now,
Thank
coming
you.
to your question, there are always challenges in life, right? And I think I resonate with so many of the thoughts that our peers over here have voiced out. And I think I'd just like to build upon what their responses are. It's all about self-belief, like Rohit said. If you respect yourself, I think we can all negotiate making space for ourselves in the relationships that we are in. And these relationships are professional relationships as well. So we need to have belief in ourselves. We need to be able to make space for ourselves. We need to be able to voice our thoughts, stand up for what we believe in. And diversity, equity, and inclusion begin with us, right? It's very, amusing for me to look at this audience and look at where the male members are all, seated absolutely towards the fringes. But does it mean that when we go back into our homes, we are going to, experience the phenomena of diversity and inclusion differently? So I just want to kind of spend a moment helping us to think about what we are exactly talking about. When we speak about diversity, we are thinking about differences and noting those differences. When we talk about equality, it's about creating space for each other, right? And being mindful about it. That's what Rohit also spoke about. You know, can we be mindful in these spaces? And when we are speaking about inclusion, it means building systems and building those kind of rules and regulations which integrate all of it. Is just about acknowledging differences, but inclusion is far more powerful. So I think we should remain oriented towards being inclusive, and that's a challenge every day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hora, for your enriching answer. Now let's come back to Mr. Verma. So my next question is to you. You know, you're an integral part of the fashion industry today. But you know, what have your observations been in terms of gender biases in your industry?
Well, I come from a very modern industry, you know.
Right.
There's not as like we are gender biased. It's like we accept everybody. Like Archana has also made transgender walks in her show. Yeah, she did for the Bombay Dance Fashion Week. So I think acceptance, like people accepting, like lots of transgenders are coming out, they are walking the ramp, they're in different fields. We are getting a respect, okay? But I'm not, see, this is only happening in metropolitan city. Yeah. But recently I went to Rishikesh, I went to small places. You know, still people are really very old school. They still don't believe like each and everybody is very talented. So acceptance is very, very important, you know. So awareness like this from now the social media is a very strong medium, right? So I keep on telling Sarah, you have to do something for the LGBT community. Okay? But what I'm trying to explain that if you like create an awareness about that we all are equal, and you know there are so many Rohit Varmas, so many Ojas Rajani are there in places like Satna, Jabalpur, Katni, all these places I've never been heard, but still they're leading a very. I get so many DMs from a small town that they are just so depressed and they're not very open about to talk to their parents about their sexuality. So I think so it's very important that we create awareness and we send them a strong message that acceptance is very important.
Okay, great. So now let's go to Ms. Isha Batra.
Okay, done.
So, you know, do you think in the blogging industry we have more successful male or female bloggers, and why is it?
Thank you for having me, Pranaya. It's really a pleasure to be here. And my daughter is turning 8 in September, and you are 15. And it makes me feel, oh my God, that's not too far. So it's really amazing to see what you're doing. Firstly, thank you for that. And yeah, so if you talk about being more females in the blogging industry than the males. So I don't think, of course, there's more females like he said, which is going to be more entertaining and which is going to be more pleasing for the audience to watch. Like for example, it's beauty, it's lifestyle. So people love to watch women more. So maybe that's the reason that females are more inclined towards becoming bloggers or content creators or influencers. But I have a lot of people now who are male influencers and they are doing amazingly well. Like, it could be something like styling a watch or like, men grooming or stuff like that. Where even my friends ask me. In fact, they all make fun of me that there's mama's lifestyle, now we want to become papa's lifestyle, the kind of stuff that's going on. Yeah, there are more female bloggers than male bloggers. It's maybe because we see more females than males in our industry. Yeah, we would be interested in seeing females as well than males. That's what, So yeah, that way it's like that. But there's no difference. I follow myself a lot of male bloggers who are very, very, in terms of travel, in terms of in terms of travel especially, they're amazing. So I think there's space for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for such an amazing answer. Now before I end sorry, yes.
So, on the topic of equal, there's one thing I want to add, when we talk of equality, we generally are talking about us treating others as equal.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing is that we have to accept that we are equal to others. I conduct a lot of graduation of 10th graders and I always tell them this, that all of us want husbands who will buy us, the Mercedes and the Chanels and everything. The thing is, that is where the problem begins. So I always tell those 10th graders, and just yesterday, one of my daughter's friend messaged me and said, Auntie, I've been thinking about this line of yours. We have to be able to buy all those bags ourselves. We can do it. We have to be able to buy all the luxury we want ourselves. We can do it. You know, we have to have that mindset कि मुझे ये बैग चाहिए, मैं जुगाड़ करके, मैं मेहनत करके, मैं buy कर लूँगी. It should not be कि you plead someone to buy it for you. When you start buying everything yourself, your dependency reduces. When the dependency reduces, you will stop getting ill-treated that much, na? है ना? We have to make that thing. And also one more thing I wanted to add, you know, we have to make this change, na, that we are equal. We have to work on it. It doesn't happen overnight because we've been brainwashed for years. So if any of us want to think, na, that we are equally good, then we have to work on it. There's a whole method to working on it. We have to brainwash ourselves again to believing in it. So we all should invest in doing that.
Let's start with asking, does each and every person over here feel equal in every sense of the word?
So I want to add one thing here, being honest about it, obviously. I know that we all talk about it, like the way she said, we need to work on gender equality. But I feel there is something which is masculine in a man and a femininity in a woman. Where, like, for example, from my partner, like, you know, I always love that whole thing that I want to be nurtured. It's not only about materialistic things. Like, it's not only about buying those cars or whatever. It's just that emotional that I just want to be a manly person who just nurtures me like a baby. You know,
I think it's all about the mindset as well. So, yeah.
It's a mindset and it's a choice. Maybe some women may not like that, but some women may like that. So it's basically a choice.
Okay, so now let's go to the last question of the conclave, which is for all of y'all. Please do share your inputs. You know, we all live a world with gender balances, climatic balance, no inequality, and no discrimination. So, you know, what do y'all think that, you know, what is something that every individual can do on a ground level to make a tangible difference?
I think creating more awareness, like events like these are amazing. And having such a great panelist like him and a lot of people, everyone, it's just becoming more acceptable. I think it's very important to make it more acceptable, which is you know, like how they celebrated the whole Pride Month.
by some strong personalities, and that definitely leaves us wanting more. But for now, that's a wrap on this amazing, amazing session. I once again request Mrs. Vasan to please come up as we give a token of appreciation to all our panelists, all our speakers. And thank you once again for those amazing voices that you all have been for us this evening, and especially for Pranaya.
As a family and the entire family. I mean, it's a joint family, and I would not take this credit all alone. It's the family and the entire support system, and I think that is what it reflects in. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the entire Vasan family. So yes, Ms. Archana Kochar, Dr. Veena Vora, Dr. Siddhant Bhargava, Ishna Batra, Sara Arfin Khan, Rohit Verma, ladies and gentlemen, are... Sound, if you don't like my voice, I'll still go ahead even without a mic. So don't switch it off, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tira Living, Pagalpanti, Corporate World, Shuddhi, Praxis Healthcare, Khadi to Carrot, The Dental Boutique, Just Exotic, and a Vanilla Bean. Karan Johar ke coffee hamper ke baad, if there's anything that's coveted to make that small step but a big difference.
One step ahead, please. Unka face photo look. Yeah, please, please.
I have to tell you, as I look around, I see more and more faces that really make a difference by the work that they put out there. And their very presence here is not just support to the cause of, is inspiration in many, many ways. Thank you so much once again. Let's hear it for our panelists once again, and let's quit.
बच्चों को बहुत कुछ इससे सीख मिलेगी इस इवेंट से स्पेशली।
सारा बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है सोसाइटी के लिए। ऐसे डॉटर आप कितना प्राउड फील करते हैं एज ए मदर?
वेल डेफिनेटली जब बच्चे अच्छे करते हैं तो पेरेंट्स को तो प्राउड फील होता ही है, बिकॉज आई फील कहीं ना कहीं हर माँ को ऐसे लगता है कि हमारी अपब्रिंगिंग सब अपने तरीके से तो अच्छे करते ही हैं, बट एक होता है ना कि पता नहीं मेरी परवरिश मैंने बराबर की या नहीं, बट जस्ट व्हेन पीपल टॉक यू नो दैट यस you've really done some great work. So it's all about acknowledging and appreciating. So I think I'm really happy and God has been kind.
हालांकि हाल ही में आपका बुक फिर से लॉन्च हुआ, उसके बारे में क्या कहें?
मेरा बुक लॉन्च नहीं हुआ, मैंने एक फैशन शो किया था इन कोलैबोरेशन विद रोहित वर्मा विद ग्रो यंगर। मैं ये ग्रो यंगर ग्रुप चलाती हूँ विच इज़ 60+। उनको फैशन वॉक करा, उसमें मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम अपनी ग्रो यंगर मैगज़ीन लॉन्च की। तो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट माय मैगज़ीन कि इस एज में 60+ वाले लोग ने रैंप वॉक किया है, और उस मैगज़ीन में सब उन पार्टिसिपेंट्स के बारे में लिखा हुआ था।
कैसा रहा एक्सपीरियंस उसका? 60+ पार्टिसिपेट किया लोगों ने, उनका रेटिंग कैसा रहा या उनका फीडबैक कैसा रहा?
आई थिंक इट वाज अमेजिंग, एंड कहीं ना कहीं when you cross this age 60, 70 and above, somewhere आपको लगता है you've slowed down, and for me to do these shows was a little uplift for them to get back their own, you know, when they were young and they just felt so energetic and more confident. I think ऐसे shows होने चाहिए to just make them little every time awareness लाना कि yes you can do more and more and better, because everybody was very happy. कई लोगों ने तो लेडीज़ ने कभी ऐसे कुछ किया ही नहीं था लाइफ में, ना ही लाइक यू नो उनके फैमिली में कभी ऐसे कुछ सुना था, तो फॉर देम इट वाज वेरी अमेजिंग थिंग। थैंक यू सो मच। सॉरी
आप जब जवान थे उस वक्त जो वुमेन्स पे जो थॉट था और जो अभी जो थॉट
एक्चुअली देखो क्या होता है ना, हम सारी ज़िंदगी जब बच्चे हो जाते हैं, हम अपनी ज़िंदगी के बारे में कम छोड़ के सोच के बच्चों की ज़िंदगी में लगे रहते हैं कि इनका कुछ अच्छा भविष्य बने। और जब ये बच्चे बड़े हो जाते हैं तब हमको लगता है कि हमने अपने लिए कुछ नहीं किया। तो ये जो ग्रो यंगर था उनको लाइक एज एक रिवॉर्डिंग कुछ था कि आप लोग ने इतना अच्छा किया, आपने अपने बच्चों को उस मकाम तक पहुंचाया है, तो आप कैसे कम हो सकते हो। यू आर बेटर डे बाय डे, यू आर ग्रोइंग बेटर, यू आर ग्रोइंग यंगर with just your, not only with your personality or with your looks wise, not only physical but even mental and spiritual. Thank you.